Alright, so we are going to learn some important tools that we need to learn section 8.21 correctly. Okay, so one of the first tool we need to know is how to factor a cubic polynomial. I guess that is a quite a bit difficult topic for most of you. I'm sure most of you don't know how to do it correctly, but to factor a cubic polynomial, you have to know polynomial long division, because polynomial long division is one of the steps in factoring a cubic polynomial. So let me show you some example. I'm gonna do that in the level that we just need in this course. Okay, so let's say you have this cubic polynomial, you who want to divide it by lambda plus 1. So be with me, I'm going to share you some tips and show you some of the places that you might get wrong when you're doing this. Okay, so here's how you do polynomial long division. This is a review. I assume that you have already, or you have learned this in somewhere in your mathematics life, okay, up to now. So what you do is you always look at this very first term of the outside expression, and compare with the comparing the very first term of the inside term. Now you want to think, how can I create the inside term using the outside term, the very first outside term? How can I create lambda cube using lambda? What should I multiply lambda with to get lambda cube? What should I multiply with? Lambda square, right? Lambda times lambda square is lambda cube. So lambda square. So write it down on the top. Okay. Now you want to do is, now when you figure out that, take this term again and re-multiply it with both of these terms. Okay, here you will only have two terms, so I can say both, because in our cases we only have two terms here, two expressions here usually. So multiply. So what do you get? Let's see, lambda square times lambda cube. So if you did it correctly, you can see that you should get the same first term here, right? Same term here inside. Now lambda square times lambda is plus lambda square. The sign is very important. Okay, all right, now here's the very, very important place that you might get very wrong for most of the time. Okay, so this is where students get wrong very famously. You wanna subtract these two expressions. Okay, so now do the subtraction correctly. Now usually these two terms always cancel out, the same term, lambda cube minus lambda cube gone. 3 lambda square minus lambda square is 2 lambda square. Well, that was an easy subtraction. I will show you in future a tricky subtraction. Okay, so be with me until the end of this video. Now here you have nothing, right? But so take these terms, so they come for free. Negative 22 lambda minus 24. It's like you had 0, say. Okay, all right, now you repeat the process. Now what you do is compare the first term. So first term here is 2 lambda square. Now here still the first term is lambda. That does not change, right? That does not change. Now how can I create 2 lambda square out of lambda? What should I multiply with? 2 lambda, right? 2 lambda times lambda is 2 lambda square plus 2 lambda. Because it's just positive 2 lambda, it's plus 2 lambda. Now what you do is, let me erase this part because that's a distraction. So now you re-multiply this term, just this term, by again the same process. Okay, you multiply with this all the terms of the outside. So 2 lambda times lambda is 2 lambda square. So see, you get the exact same expression. 2 lambda times 1 is plus 2 lambda. Okay, now you subtract. So let's see, subtraction mark here. Okay, sounds good. So 2 lambda square cancel out. Negative 22 lambda minus 2 lambda, right? Because here it's subtraction. If you want, really write it down separately like that. That can make sure that you are not doing wrong. This is just a 0.001% of the big problem that you're gonna solve. It's a question that's gonna worth a lot of point in the exam and your homework, and it's a very important lesson. So you wanna make sure that you do you wanna make sure you do this correctly. So 22 lambda minus 2 lambda is negative 24 lambda minus this 24 comes for free. Okay, all right. So then again you compare this first term. Okay, so you do this until you get 0. Okay, so I will show you. So negative 24 lambda. How can I create a negative 24 lambda out of lambda? Multiply by negative 24. That is where you get a negative here, negative 24. Okay, so now re-multiply negative 24 with this term. Negative 24 times lambda is negative 24 lambda. Okay, negative 24 times lambda is negative 24, right? Now you subtract. Here's where you have to be very careful. Okay, here you have to be very careful. Negative 24 lambda, subtract negative 24 lambda, it cancel out. Let me show you. Negative 24 lambda minus 24 lambda, right? This is not subtraction. It is the sign that inherited by negative 24 lambda. There's subtraction in middle here. Okay, so you have to understand very clearly. Here negative positive. That is why this cancel out 0. Here negative 24 minus 24. That cancel out. You get 0. So you do this until you get 0 here. Okay, so now you are done. There's no more you can find. So when you divide, you get this expression. So let me write it down separately. So okay, so here when you divide this cubic polynomial by this linear term, the answer is lambda square plus 2 lambda minus 24. The purpose that we do this is, let me show you. The purpose that we do this is lambda cube plus 3 lambda square minus 22 lambda minus 24 is same as lambda plus 1 times this quadratic polynomial that we got by division. Okay, now do you understand it? Do you see this? Okay, think about it like this. 8, you divide it by 2, you get 4. So 8 is actually 2 times 4, right? So 8 was like the cubic polynomial here, 2 was like this lambda plus 1, 4 is like the quadratic answer that you got. So actually linear terms times the quadratic terms, you get the cubic polynomial, right? So that is exactly what we are doing. Now you can see why we need this in when we want to factor a cubic polynomial. Here's the one thing. If you do not get 0, 0 here, just like this, if you have a remaining constant other than 24, that means you have done something wrong, because I am giving you polynomials that can be factored. Okay, we just need this for in a certain level, restricted level. Okay, all right, so let me do just another one example. So if you opt not to watch this video, if you feel like you're comfortable, then please you can skip this part. Okay, so let me do another one example. Lambda cube minus 7 lambda plus 6. What I would suggest is pause the video and try to do it by yourself and compare. That's a very good way to learn. So here's the cubic polynomial, here's the linear term, so let's divide. So lambda cube minus 7 lambda plus 6 lambda minus 1. Here I will do an adjustment. Look at this cubic polynomial. So cubic polynomial should have a third power term, lambda square power term, lambda to the power 1 term, a constant term. Here I do not have a lambda square term. So but let me create an artificial lambda square term, that is 0 times lambda square. Okay, it is actually not there because 0 times lambda square is 0, so it doesn't harm us. Okay, but it helps us. Okay, so let's write it like that. Okay, so be careful, do those kind of tricks. Now let's start. Now compare the first terms. How do I create lambda cubed out of lambda? It's lambda square. Now re-multiply. Lambda square times lambda is lambda cube. Lambda square times negative lambda is negative lambda square. Now subtract. Be careful. Lambda cube minus lambda cube gone. 0 lambda square that is 0 lambda square is 0. 0 minus, that is subtract minus lambda square, because this minus is inherited by lambda square. It's not the subtraction. Minus plus, so it's just lambda square. Minus 7 lambda plus 6. See why we needed that 0 lambda square there. That's helpful, right? Now how can I create lambda square out of lambda? Multiply by lambda, right? Multiply by plus lambda. Lambda square here. Okay. Lambda times minus lambda here, minus lambda. Okay, now subtract. Lambda square minus lambda square gone. So usually if you did it correctly, the first term should cancel out. Now here be careful. negative 7 lambda minus lambda. What do you get? Here plus negative 6 lambda. This plus 6 comes for free. Negative 6 lambda you multiply by negative 6, right? Negative 6 times lambda is negative 6 lambda. Negative 6 times negative 1 is positive 6. Now you subtract. Okay. Now negative 6 lambda subtract minus 6 lambda is positive, they cancel out. 6 minus 6 is 0. So you are done. So then we can write down. So if you divide the cubic polynomial, look, this cubic polynomial is product of lambda minus 1 times, what is the quadratic polynomial that we get? Lambda square part lambda minus 6. So this is how you do the polynomial long division. Okay. All right. Here's something that you can see before I finish. Now you can see. You know how to factor a quadratic polynomial, right? So you can factor this quadratic polynomial. That means you automatically factor the cubic polynomial. But the question is, how can I know this linear term? If you can know that linear term, you do a polynomial long division, boom, you get to factor the the cubic polynomial, right? We will learn that in the next video. Okay. All right. Thank you.